Hey, let's get this stream started by booting Skyrim. Where is it? There. I haven't done this for a while. I mean, I went to stream last week, but... well, I went to bed late on Sunday. Well, strictly, it was Monday. Ah! Unmuted. Fuck you, YouTube. Why must you unmute? For example, what if all you watch on YouTube... I know I've used this example 100 times before, I'm sure of it. But what if all you watch on YouTube was help videos where they don't actually say everything, but they have some obnoxious music playing because a silent video just doesn't work? You know, what if that's all you watch on YouTube? That computer... I have never watched on that computer a YouTube video without it being muted, and yet YouTube thinks, ooh, got to unmute, got to unmute. And also, by the looks of it, I'm just gonna load the doodle, get stream loading, but by the looks of it, there still seems to be, everything's not huge. Actually, no, it is, everything is huge, so yeah, that is new YouTube. Because, except the chat viewer itself, the live stream chat is the only thing on new YouTube that isn't absolutely massive. Because for some reason... YouTube decided everything had to be massive, and it forced that update on us. But it's better than DeviantART's update. Eclipse is just awful. I mean, all YouTube's update really did was make everything bigger. Apart from like live stream chat, that's like there's a few things that haven't been made bigger, but other than that, it's mostly fine. Ooh, I saw a dread. And for the first time in my life, I actually saw a land dragon in Oblivion. So I've been playing Oblivion on PS4, even though it's the PS3 version via PS Now, which sadly does not have Shivering Isles, which is really sad, because Shivering Isles is like one of the best bits of Oblivion. But it's the only way I'm really going to play Oblivion, because bloody hell, Oblivion on PC is so janky. And that's without the ghosting issue it was giving me. It's janky enough without it. And I think that was probably because it was building to like a critical mass. Ooh, I do miss Quick Loot though. That's something I really do miss from Skyrim. And I think the reason I'm not sure if it was because of the streams or what... oh god, I gave it a shovel. Take the shovel. The shovels aren't... oh, I can't be bothered to cycle through all the crap. One thing I've realised with Oblivion is... I mean, I'm going to keep trying to hit the auto-heal, but... one of the things I do miss in Oblivion is, like... the carry weight is nowhere near as oppressive as it is in Skyrim. Or Fallout 4, or Fallout 3. It's actually... Oblivion's carry weight is actually really quite generous. I mean, on PS3, this is without... and this is without balking the duplication bug to get permanent enchantments, which is a thing, but no bugs whatsoever. I've got like... I'm level 35 and I've got like 500 carry weight pretty much. I think it's just like 495, it's just under 500 carry weight. You know, so that's... and like I've got... let's see, two feather spells custom created called Carry My Crap and Carry My More Crap 2, which were, well, designed to carry more crap, then, like, which given me about 200 extra carry capacity for 2 minutes each, and cost pretty much nothing to cast, like 29, if that. And there's... what else was there? There's the Pack Mule, which I think gives me like 250 for like 5 minutes. Then there's like Beast of Burden, which gives me pretty much the same as well. And you know, I can probably push it to about 400 in an over about 1,200 probably in an emergency just with what I have. And that's without having maxed the armor rate, the armor perks out. Because once I'm not 100 skill in armor, so the armor's still weighing something. I mean, granted I'm wearing Imperial Guard armor just... well, more so because I can. because I've done I've done the duplication permanent enchantment bug, just because, well, I wanted to wear Imperial Guard armor, not Daedric or Glass, because, well, let's face it, why wear ugly when you can wear style? You know, it is one of those things, it's like, why wear ugly when you can wear style? Speaking of Imperial Guard armor, I think this latest Skyblivian stream was before. Well, you know, before this stream, but after the last stream, which was 3 weeks ago, and I think it was like just last week. But, oh, Skyblivian. The only gripe I have had with Skyblivian so far has been its choice of armors. Some of them, like steel, for example, look pretty much exactly the same as Oblivion's. Then there's like the Daedric and the Dwarven, which they're a little bit different, but they sort of blend the styles a bit and work better, because bloody hell, Oblivion's Dwarven armor just look derp. Then there's Ebony, which is mostly the same, apart from the fact it's got replaced with, you know, the characterful derp helmet with a really, really boring generic knight helmet, which just makes me want to be bored to death. But, and then there's the guard armor. I saw it and I'm thinking, they can't. No. And then they went to the Imperial City and it was like, oh god, it is. And it was like you take what is arguably the most iconic armor out of Oblivion and replace it with a generic muscle armor, like a metal muscle armor. If you don't know what I mean by muscle armor, look it up, because it is a real thing and that is what it's called, or is it a muscle cuirass? But either look up muscle armor or muscle cuirass, and it was one of those with a generic Spartan helmet, and it was like, oh. I mean, granted, people have ported the original Oblivion Guard armor to Skyrim. I have it downloaded. It's only single weight, which is annoying, but I'll take that over, you know, if I have to, I'll take that over muscle armor any day. Oh, trolls. In Oblivion, you went whoop whoop and ran like like they were on drugs. Here, they're really slow moving and they sound like apes. A lot more realistic, but let's face it. Oh right, Skyrim. I forgot. Skyrim absolutely fucking hates it when you go the way you're not. The quest markers don't tell you to. And it struggles to update. Note, Oblivion does not do that. Oblivion's quest markers actually update. They get really screwy around the Imperial City because they want you to go through it for some reason, and they don't like you crossing water. But they do update. Skyrim's, if you take the route that they don't expect you to, it doesn't update at all. Go figure. It's Skyrim. You'd think it'd be better, but no. Fallout 4's update, it's only Skyrim's that don't. Because obviously, well, maybe Fallout 3's don't, but I don't think there's any case in Fallout 3 where you can go away that they don't want you to. Like jumping off a cliff, for example. I just don't think that's actually a thing. I mean, I know they suck trying to the quest markers are terrible for trying to navigate DC. But other than that, anyway, back to the subject of Oblivion. I mean, you know, I want Skyblivion more than ever, but I also know I'm going to have to mod Skyblivion to get rid of those awful armor choices. The thing is, most of Oblivion's armors ported straight with like updated textures look fine. They don't look. There's nothing wrong with them. But because some of the Sky Oblivion redesigns are making me seriously wonder what the fuck were they smoking to think that was a better idea. And let me just point out, this awful muscle armor, which would have been reserved for, like, officers in the Roman armies, was on every single guard. Yeah. Just let that sink in. Like, so, if you were trying to go for realism, which is like, it's a fucking fantasy RPG, I don't want tedious realism. If I wanted tedious realism, I'd play a medieval simulator. You know, I want my Elder Scrolls to be a bit wacky, a bit weird. I mean, Skyrim fails on that in that regard. It's not wacky and weird. But, like, at least its armor design isn't, like, generic and boring. You know, it does have some style to it. You knew. Oh, another troll. I kind of hope Sky Oblivion brings back the original Oblivion troll noises as awful as they were. Because they were funny. You know, the whooping trolls were at least funny. Now, the bears, that was just a terrible sound effect. And I can't even see them bother to even, like, remake the bears. Because Skyrim's bears are just so much better. Wait, that was a cub? It's bloody huge! I need to confirm to myself that was a cub, because it's like... That's fucking huge! No, it wasn't, that's a normal one. I thought that was the case, but it's a cub when I went past me. I have no idea where I'm going, but that would be not a wrong thing for these streams, would it? I always don't have no clue where I'm going. And one thing replaying Oblivion has shown me is just how, well, boring Skyrim's quests are. It's like, damn near every quest in Oblivion has something something different going on. Even like a really mundane guild like the Fighters Guild is much more interesting than Skyrim's quests. The bulk of Skyrim's quests are talk to a random NPC, fight your way through a dungeon to the end room, pick up item or object or talk to NPC in end room, and then that's either the end of the quest or you gotta return back to the original NPC. It's quite a boring format. I mean, Skyrim's dungeons are infinitely better. I mean, there is a reason to go in a Skyrim dungeon without a quest. Oblivion, you would only go in a dungeon if there was a quest associated with it. But there is a case of, like, Skyrim's quest design is just so boring. And, oh, the quest lines. Like, the fighters, just take the Fighters Guild versus the Companions. You know, they're the comparable guilds. They're both the Mercenary Guild, basically. I'm pretty sure Oblivion has more quests. Even if you count all the Radiant quests as individual quests. Like, all the different Radiant quests. Even though, I think you only have to play, like, 2. And Oblivion has more quests in the line. And you start off with a nice, memorable quest like Crazy Rat Lady. And in Skyrim, you start off by punching Vilkas in the face, and then doing a Radiant shit quest. Then another Nordic dungeon crawl, where the companion story becomes, let's be all about werewolves and nothing else. It's just... the companions could have been so much better. And then there's the Thieves Guild. I mean, Oblivion's Thieves Guild is brilliant. You're actually thieving. You're going on heists. You've got to sneak. There are hidden passages. Skyrim. It's, let's see, you started off by framing an innocent. Then you go around town being a thug. Demanding money with menace. No thieving there either. no thieving. At least the first bit at least involved a little thieving. Then it's notionally a heist, but you can fug your way through it. You don't actually have to sneak at all. Like, ever. Where is this objective? There's no... Oh, it's Froki, which is probably best to go past Riverwood, actually. But, you don't do any thieving, and then there's I think it was a dungeon crawl. Then there was the actual one in Markov, which, again, you could fug it if you wanted to. You don't actually have to sneak. You could notionally go through the Markov bit without, notionally that was one of the better ones. You're going to get full in the journal. But, or have I got this in the wrong order altogether? But, you could at least notionally sneak. That one was designed to sneaky, but then you realise that once you get past the initial guards in the museum, which you can get past, by doing a quest for Cal Selma, that's fair, that's good. It's good to that point. Then it becomes, oh, these aren't guards anymore, these are just hired thugs, and you can kill them without punishment. Might I remember, in Oblivion, apart from, at the very end where there were special exceptions given by the Grey Fox himself, murder was not allowed on a Thieves Guild quest. It was like... But Skyrim, nah. Only the Radiants had that condition. And the Radiants were terrible. I mean, the Numbers jobs in particular are just one of the most pathetic quests I've ever seen. It's go to house, sign ledger, which no one ever watches, so it's not like there's any ever need to sneak at all. And then it's returned back. It's so bad. And here's another thing. To advance in the Thieves Guild in Oblivion, you actually had to steal and fence things. Do this. This. You had to do this to items. In Skyrim, you just go along like normal. You just get given every next quest. And to rebuild it, you've just got to do the shitty Radiant quests, which feel like a completely separate entity from the rest of it. Just... what happened with Skyrim's writing? I mean, the world design is incredible. Like, the amount of detail in the world. The little stories the world tells you. But then there's the quests, and they're just so boring. And, oh, another thing that you can compare. Guards! The Skyrim's guards. They're lazy, they're corrupt, they're inept, and they're weak. You can generally tangle with a one-on-one you can tangle with a Skyrim guard at level 1 and win. In Oblivion, the Oblivion guards... Oh, and the Skyrim guards are also rude. In Oblivion, the guards are polite, effective, hilariously aggressive in combat. They're not corrupt, apart from one or two individuals, as a generalized thing. And you really do not want to mess with them at low level. Even at high level, they're actually quite powerful. I've seen them take down a Daedra, which is like a upper mid-level Daedra. They're extremely dangerous. Like, you do not mess with an Oblivion guard. A Skyrim guard, yeah, you troll them because they troll you. And I wonder if that was deliberate at Skyrim guard. It could only be deliberate, that's so fucking useless. Ooh, Nightshade. And then we get to the Daedra quests. Daedra quests, oh god, Skyrims are boring. Very few of Skyrims have anything interesting going on. Clavicus Vile is a decent one. I'd argue that's apart from the fact that the choice, your deal, is just shit. Because, well, let's face it, you've got a choice of the awful Rueful Axe, which is arguably one of the worst battle axes in the game because it's not very powerful and it is so slow. It is, I think it's actually the slowest weapon to swing in Skyrim. And it doesn't even have... and it's got, like, I think it's slightly worse than Ebony. It's kind of pathetic vanilla. So, apart from the deal being a shit one, because, like, the Mask of Clavicus Vile actually the better option because the Rueful Axe is so awful. Damn, giving Barbas back. You kind of want to be... You don't want to kill Barbas. But, Oblivion's Clavicus Vile was worse, but it was it did go in with Clavicus Vile always giving you a shit deal. Because Umbra was legitimately much better than the Mask of Clavicus Vile. I mean, and if you were kept it as a quest item, Umbra was weightless as well, which made it even better. Look, let's see, you had to I'm pretty sure I think it was Mephala where you had to go in Oblivion. You went to a town, murdered the patriarchs of two families, and planted evidence from the other families who implicated, and then they all just started a big brawl with each other. You sowed discord. In Skyrim, you talk to a kid after getting a rumour from the local innkeeper. The kid tells you to listen to a door. You listen to the door painfully, and I can't keep that up. Drone on forever. Go steal a key. Go talk to the kid again to learn where the key is. Get the key from Farengar by either pickpocketing him or killing him. No one cares that he dies. Go open the door, quest done. Now, that quest originally was supposed to have, kill a horse. And, had ended up with, the kids killing Balgruuf, which was really creepy. And was also much more interesting. But Skyrim seems to hate anything that was interesting, so that was cut. I mean, just look at the Civil War. Everything interesting about that was cut as well. But then Sheogorath, arguably one of Skyrim's better Daedric quests, and it does have some unique mechanics, although everything does consist of just shoot it with a Wabberjack. But even that felt lazy in Skyrim. I mean, in Oblivion, your whole goal was to go around and torment a town, and you were given options of how you could do it. I don't know how you did the Rat Plague without the stinky cheese, because the incredible cheese was kind of the only way I can think of, but I'm sure you could get rats there another way. If not, then you could either use the rat poison to kill all the sheep, or you could kill all the sheep yourself. And then flaming dogs. Raining flaming dogs. No one ever sees that coming. You've basically driven a town mad. Well done. In Skyrim, you're maddening Pelagius, notionally. And apart from the Wabberjack, there are no new assets for that mission. Nothing particularly interesting happens. I mean, some of the mechanics are fun, but it doesn't look very interesting. It looks generic, Nordic, meh, like the rest of Skyrim looks like. It's just not a particularly good design. And I'm dead. Shit. I forgot the golden rule, don't melee them. But shit. But going back to too busy talking about Oblivion. But no, like Shagor's Quest, it is one of the better ones in Skyrim, but it just looks so boring. It's got some good mechanics, but it's really short and it looks so boring. It just looks like the rest of Skyrim. And oh god, what they did to Shagor. I mean, the outfit's fine, I don't mind the outfits. But he doesn't have much of a beard, even though he was known for being the only NPC in Oblivion to have a proper beard. Because everyone else was completely hairless. Apart from head hair, they were completely hairless, which was a bit creepy. But you went, and they couldn't even be bothered to give him his correct yellow slit eyes. They couldn't even be bothered to do that. They just gave him the generic double blind eyes, and he just looks crap as a result. And his hair's wrong as well. It's just a generic hair. They couldn't even be bothered. Now, thanks to the Creation Club, weirdly enough, and the effort they put into the Shivering Isles themed one, same as introducers, I have pretty much restored him nearly to his original condition. The hair's still a bit off. But at least he looks more like Shagorov now, because weirdly enough, the eye textures, even though they aren't set up vanilla for it, they do actually apply to males as well, so they do work. Go away, Snow. No one likes you.
If you are not here to grant me a good death, then you can leave. Yes, were I to sip my time. Malakat, as you can see, it has not yet arrived. Are you sure about this?
Just giving the old orc his death. He wants to die a warrior. My inner Klingon respects that. But carrying on, it's just like Skyrim's. Yes, it has some nice mechanics, but it just felt like it was so lazily done. It's like they did it low effort. And it's just out of nowhere. It's just Devenin, who looks absolutely nothing like he looked in the Shivering Isles. Not for the fact that he's apparently gained an extra foot in height, because for some reason they decided, let's make Bosma men ever so slightly smaller than everyone else. It's like they're 0.99 rather than 0.9. They were fucking tiny in Oblivion. And I have actually modded Skyrim to reflect that, because I kind of miss it. But carrying. But he looks nothing like he did in Oblivion. Like, absolutely nothing like. Because he was actually an Oblivion character, Devenin. And I know they couldn't get the voice actor back, but like, there wasn't. It would have been nice to hear Haskell's bored and sarcastic tones. I mean, how can you not love Haskell? It just felt like. And then, okay, Malakat asks Quest. It was pretty fair on both. Skyrim's isn't as bad, but it's not. It's got a bit more dialogue and it's got some story going for it. It doesn't have anything particularly interesting mechanically, except your Mars turning on you. But it's better than most. So at least the story's interesting. But, in Oblivion, we had to go free some ogres from some snobby lord. Lesson learned, do not fight this monster. Oh, right. Alduin needs a lot of space to spawn a Rassin. Let my monster fight that monster. Oh. She's stuck. Got it. Right. Oh, right. Skyrim does not have mod pause. Yeah, Alduin's just stuck. Got it. Nope. Yep, well and truly stuck. Got it. Never had that issue before, but okay. Where is it? Really? I don't have it. I must have it on here. There. Ugh, I see it doesn't... Once an enchantment's applied, it's locked on for good. Because I did nerf the enchantments to make it so you couldn't stack them to 100, because that was ridiculous. I mean, just look how spammy this is, and there's no reason for this to be so spammy. Like, no reason whatsoever for this to be a thing. You would have to do some bloody exploitive shit to do this in any other game. But Skyrim, you can just stack vanilla enchanting. This is nothing if not unreliable. I don't really want to go in Froakie Shack with this out waiting outside. Lightning Storm, let's try that one. That's got a bit more range. Do the casting dance. Bag out of the way. Well, this is basically a cannon, you can't... just... there. So she's elder. Let's tag her another one in the journal. There we go. There's just... Oblivion's Quest is just more interesting. Skyrim's just kind of boring. Not that well designed. And the same goes for the music. Skyrim's music is very ambient. And it's the point where you can't even tell each track apart. And like, the battle music barely ever happens either, especially once you go past like level 20, the battle music pretty much never happens anymore. Because like, for some reason vanilla Skyrim only levels to about 20. It's weird. No one really understands why. Boing, boing, boing. Into the shack. That door does not actually fit that arch. So as I found trying to add the doors to the abandoned shack, this shack kit set, none of the doors fit, except the Whiterun doors. But only the exterior single doors.
Guardians, here's where you need to go. You do kind proud. Here's where you need to go.
Really? Really? Troll is the last one? Troll. Is it... Where is this bloody troll? You'd think Mammoth might have been the biggest guardian spirit. No. Troll is the last one. Really? The least... Or the less threatening creatures? Skyrim makes no sense. Say goodbye to weather. Okay, that is one thing Skyrim... Yeah, it's something Skyrim does better. When it's raining, you can just shout it away. Which, in Oblivion, well, when it rained, you couldn't see a thing, because it was kind of like, just like this cloud. And it was horrible, and you couldn't get rid of it, and it lasted all day. That was another thing to start. Back to Daedric quests. You had to have items. You had to find something to start them. You didn't just get them. It's not like Skyrim where you just... Oh, you want to do this quest? Go ahead! Except Malakath, which makes you ask you for troll fat. And he likes only troll fat. Except you also need a Daedra heart. But most of the Daedric quests in Skyrim, you just rock up and there you can start them. It's kind of sad. But in Oblivion, you had to, for most of them, you had to get an item, and it wasn't something that you could, well, either have on hand, like Sheogorath, who wanted yarn, some lettuce, and I can't remember what the third bit is, because I can never remember what the third bit is, but... Or, which one was it? Vermina, I think, wanted a black soul gem, which in Oblivion were really rare, unlike Skyrim, where soul gems and black soul gems are really common. Like, if you didn't... And because of the Shade of the Revenant only happening every 8 days, making black soul gems was actually quite awkward. Ooh, a wisp is nearby. I don't remember this little bit of wall. I very much don't remember this bit of wall. And it is vanilla. Ugh, this is not something I missed. I mean, granted, the skeleton key is the most hilariously broken thing in Oblivion. Especially when paired with the auto attempt. Although you can... The skeleton key, because of the... Not just because it's unbreakable, but because it also boosts your skill by 40. You can actually completely brute force any lock, just by... Even if you... Without auto attempt. If you just, like, keep pressing up and just spamming in the action button, it works. Actually, I don't want to be on this side of the mountain, do I? I don't want to be going down, I want to go round. Elder Scrolls style, Bethesda style. Okay, on the side of the mountain. Looks like I have to go down anyway. Yeah, that's something I really don't miss from Oblivion. In Oblivion, is the spiders. Just ew. No one likes them. They're repulsive. They're horrible. Whee! Splat. Only a moron would jump off this without... this. Whee! Splat. Splosh. And... yeah, not another waterfall. And I can't shout in water. Can't shout in water. Really? Some weirdos floating down there. Oh, apparently that's his mate. So much for never should have come here. Looks like there's a wizard battle going on. Or a goblin war. This axe of no range. How did that? How? How did that even get up there? Oh no, a vampire. And that's another thing. Vampirism. I mean, it's equally useless in both. I mean, like, the boons are just not big enough to outweigh the fact that you... Oh shit. You know, the boons just aren't enough to outweigh the fact that, like, the downsides are crippling. I mean, but Skyrim, at least you just don't regenerate anything during the daylight. While in Oblivion, you die. Very quickly. When it's sunny, you die extremely quickly. It's like almost like you go out a door and it's like, oh shit, my health bar's just vanished. It drains like my stamina bar, if you want the comparison. You know, it drains like a stamina bar while sprinting, except a bit, you know, very quickly. It's disturbing how quickly you die in the sun in Oblivion. Oh, and of course, both make you fugly, at least thanks to Dawnguard. Unless you are a beast race, and then it was only in Oblivion you just change colour, because it fucks your age slider, which really fucks your appearance. Really? Oh yeah, and that's another thing, is Oblivion gold is not everywhere. Like in Skyrim, everywhere you go, like, there's random gold lying around. You know, every bandit has gold in Skyrim. In Oblivion, like, bandits really didn't. Like, you couldn't just get gold, like, really easily, and there were actually more things to spend it on. And if you forgot to haggle, you could burn a lot if you were buying even the basics shit. It's like, oh look, more gold. Now it's going to wobble. And he is officially the world's worst shot. I mean, he is consistently missing me. Watch. Oh no, he actually hit me that time. He's just gonna spaz back and forth. No, he's dead now. I can't even bother to move up to loot. Like in Oblivion, you actually had more shit to spend your money on because you had, you know, soul gems weren't dime a dozen. Soul trap spells were like actually really quite rare. There was only like a couple of them, and none of them were like super low level either. Like you couldn't use them unless you had like I think it was ultra. I can't remember which one it was, but if your magic skill wasn't high enough, you simply could not use them. They weren't like novice grade. So you were actually pretty screwed if you wanted to use like staves or enchanted weapons early on. And it made Azura's start ridiculously valuable because it was the only soul gem you had that was like reliable. Because you had to really hoard your soul gems if you wanted to use enchanted stuff. And of course, repairs cost money. You either paid money to a vendor or you bought repair hammers. I mean, you found a few in the world, but not many. And like, same with healing potions, they cost a fortune in Oblivion, not like 300 for a mediocre one. And guess what? Again, they were really rare. Like, you weren't going to be finding them as random loot much. So, granted, which made you reliant on restoration magic a lot, but you know, did make you a bit reliant on restoration magic, but that wasn't very potent. So you're actually better off. You know, so you either had a choice of make potions with alchemy, which were good potions, but they weren't instant. You know, alchemy potions are all heal over time. Or you could buy them. You just couldn't just find hundreds of them like you do in Skyrim. Oh no, vampire. Off the cliff you go. And that's another thing, is like vampires in Oblivion, you could only tell them by their face, while Skyrim, like, they all wear this stupid vampire outfit thanks to the Dawn Guard, so it's like really painfully obvious. You little bitch, come back. And to be honest, Fusradar is nothing compared to the ragdoll death you could get from electricity area effect spells in Oblivion. Because they could send things flying. It was kind of silly how far they could send things flying. Was the Guardian Troll that? Oh, it was down there. Fuck. It's down there. Anyway, backtracking. Wrong shout. But there is a case of like, just Skyrim's just so boring, and it's why I want Skyblivion so bad. But there's two things that worry me with Skyblivion. I am worried about each of these big mod recreations. Skywind is, will it bring back too much of what made Morrowind unplayable in the first place? AKA archaic mechanics. I mean, the FAQ seems to indicate that the dreadful hit-miss is gone, but from what I saw in the... I saw some gameplay videos and I'm pretty sure I saw that in there once. It's like... yeah, so I'm not 100% sure on that. But with Skyblivion, you know, so Skywind's that, and will they ever actually do the DLC? Because all the other projects, all three, you know, the other ones, have shown that they've at least had some indication of doing. They've done at least some DLC assets. Even if the plan is to do the DLC after, except it's Capital Wasteland because they're doing Point Lookout first. You know, as a way to not be burned out, they're actually doing Point Lookout, which is really nice, because that was kind of my favourite one from Fallout 3. Not counting Broken Steel, which I believe they're counting as vanilla, or at least part of it. I mean, I believe that's the case with Broken Steel. Anyway. Fallout 4 New Vegas doesn't really have any worries for me. It's... I mean, you can't really go wrong with it. Because the only mechanically annoying, really annoying things from New Vegas was the repair. But if they've had it, I can break it and make it not work. You know, make it so I don't have to repair everything, because the repair rates were ridiculous. You know, repair mechanics are just tedious. Speaking of tedious, going back to Froki is tedious. What's that objective? That one there. Are these both fucking solid toodles? Might as well bring the last scabbard of Akash towards her. And I've still got the wrong shout equipped because I'm a dingbat. But carrying on, but Skyblivion, what worries me is humanoid NPCs. Basically playable races plus notionally Dremora. What worries me is that Oblivion's NPCs have a very unique behaviour. In that they're not like, especially when compared to Skyrim's NPCs. Skyrim's NPCs are very much almost on rails. They have very, very preset routines. And they don't deviate from those routines like at all. Well, Oblivion NPCs sort of aimlessly wander around during some times of the day. And it made them feel more natural. Like in Oblivion, I never saw like a bunch of NPCs just randomly group up like these guards. Like, they don't... Like in Skyrim, you know exactly where an NPC will be at every time of the day, because they do the same thing day in, day out. It doesn't matter what day it is, they're doing the same exact thing. Like Nazim, every morning Nazim will go and torment the market with the same line of dialogue. In Oblivion, what they do on one day might be different from... Like, one of the countesses, she would take this ridiculously long voyage between towns, just every other, like once a week, for 2 days every week. She would go on this ridiculously long journey, and you would often get the Countess Alessia Maro, who is unconscious. I think it was her, but you basically Countess whoever was unconscious messages as she got killed on the road. But Skyrim, every NPC has the exact same routine day in, day out, and even within their things, the Oblivion NPCs, because they basically had a mill around time, where they would just like interact with other NPCs, like, look how lifeless these guards are, they're all just standing there perfectly still. All three of them.
I heard you were at the...
Like, all three of them is piled into a doorway, because they've all just spawned and they can't be bothered to do anything. And Oblivion's guards will be on patrol all the time. These are just standing there like lemons.
There, traveler, over here.
And that's a big worry for me, is how, will it actually capture the NPC feel? Or will they be this dull hunks of wood that they are in Skyrim? Because that's the problem, it's like, the NPCs are so dull and rigid in Skyrim. Like in Oblivion, you never knew what the fuckers were gonna do. Like, they weren't just like, for example, let's take the evening meal part of the routine. In Skyrim, they are programmed to go to a very specific bar, sit down and magic a loaf of bread out their arse. In Oblivion, now, the NPC was programmed to merely seek food. It would go to a table and eat food. It wouldn't go to a specific place every time. If there was food on the floor, it would eat it. If there was a poisoned apple, it would eat it. It would sort of thrust it into its face, make one biting action, then do it a couple of times and die. And it just... Skyrims don't do that. Skyrim's... in terms of NPC AI... What the f... Skyrim's NPCs just seem so... lifeless. I mean, they're not as rigid and cardboardy as Morrowind's, which would, if you were lucky, would just walk around in circles all day. But... is that Khajiit? And the banditos. It is a Khajiiti bandito. Oop, wrong shout. Fuck. I always forget what shout I have equipped. Again, something Oblivion did better. You knew exactly what you had equipped. Because they had little indicator icons for every power. Each one was unique. Like, you knew what shout you had equipped. You know, if Skyrim had the same little icon, it would be like, you would know exactly what shout you have equipped. But it doesn't. I mean, that was a hell of a lot of art assets. You know, because it was one for effectively every spell. Well, every type of spell effect had its own enchantment. Every weapon had its own icon. Every single piece of outfit and equipment had its own icon. It was a hell of a lot of art assets, excessively too many. But you know, you could have a genericized icon for Skyrim where it's like, you know, for example, take assorted frost spells. You have Frost Spike, which could be like you have Frost. So let's say basic Frost spam, where you just like spam it out your hands, concentrate. It'd be like Frost with like a cone. You have the Frost Spike, which will be like a frost symbol, like a snowflake, with an arrow, suggesting that, oh, this goes in a straight line. Then you have like a snowflake with an arrow with an explosion would be the Ice Storm, because that's the equivalent, say, projectile area of effect. You know, you could have like genericized icons that can sort of be combined together and give it a bit more life, and let you know what you've got equipped. And like the shouts could be like a mouth, and then the effect. You know, they would have their own unique icons, but you know, like it would be a mouth, and for example, for someone Odovine and Unavir, it'd be a mouth to indicate this is a shout. And a little dragon icon. You know, you could do it. It's not that hard. You could do it with minimal assets. Like the weapons, you could just have a generic. Oh, you've got a battle axe. You have to. You know, you could have just like a generic icon for each type rather than what exact weapon it is. It'd still be more helpful to know. Like, let's say you're walking around in first person, you don't have the faintest fucking clue what you've got equipped until you draw it. Oh, I've got a Dragonbone Battle Axe, or oh, I've got a Dragonbone Battle Axe. It's like, and spells are all just like, you sort of know what type you have, but you don't know what they actually do until you cast them. And it is a problem, and I do miss it from Oblivion. Like little status indicators that appear up in the top corner. Sky UI adds them back, and it's one of the things I do actually like about Sky UI, other than the MCM. That's because I don't like much about Sky UI. I think the actual UI layout is horrible, but hence Sky UI away. But I do think the little status icons they brought back from Oblivion are really nice. And again, generic little icons. You don't need to have a fancy one for each thing. You know, they are like the magic icons are a bit genericized, and like Sky UI did it. Why can't Bethesda? It's like, why couldn't they just bring that back? It's such a useful feature. Like Skyrim, you don't even sort of, like, you get poisoned, you don't even know you've been poisoned. Apart from the fact your health's draining, you have no idea that you've actually been poisoned. This is a random place for a frost troll. Yeah, this would be more a green snot-coloured whoop whoop troll. Ooh. But it's Skyrim, since when did things make sense? I just feel like Skyrim was done quite lazily. Now, there's a lot of things that in Skyrim that just stand out as being a bit lazy. What a miserable day. But I won't even get into like the cooked content because, oh god, Skyrim's cooked content is obvious that there was supposed to be cooked content. Ooh, I trimmed. I love it when I trim. I go further on Zoom. And just like TF2, I have no fucking clue how to trim. You know, it just sort of works half the time. Also, I thought wolves were supposed to be aggressive as a pack. Yeah, but like, that's my fear with Sky Oblivion, is will they get the NPCs right? And that extends to things other than their actions. It also applies to their appearance, and judging by how some of the armors are just so wrong, I just can't see it. God, I know this guy's got a terrible sense of direction, but the Shrine of Azura is all the way over there, and somehow he managed to find his way to Markov. It's like Valdrus's legendary sense of direction. The day Valdrus finds the Shrine of Azura is the day the world ends, clearly. Oh, and let's go into Skyrim cities. You know I was going to, because this streams have been all about talking about Oblivion, the best Elder Scrolls overall. You know, it's like Skyrim cities are so small and boring. Like, Markov's alright, but it is just, you know, it is like mostly bespoke. But it is tiny. It is pretty tiny. It doesn't have any actually that many buildings or people in it. Like, I couldn't get across an Oblivion city in like the 5 seconds it takes to get through here. Maybe into the interior of Anvil, but Anvil also had the big docks outside of it as well. Look, that's Markov's one of the better cities. The thing is, look, Riften, Markov, Whiterun, Solitude, Windhelm, they all at least have character, they're just really small. And then there's the generic ones, like Winterhold, which is just atrocious. I get that it's supposed to be half destroyed, but 3 buildings, come on.
Books. Don't know why the Imperials like me so much. This should help the boy, though. I'll Here, let me show you how an orc learns to smith. Until next time.
But, you know, carrying on, it's like, Winterhold is just pathetic. The little villages that were involved in, like, one quest and had pretty much just the whole purpose of go to this little village and learn of the problem, or cause a problem in the case of Border Watch. You know, they had more population and more going on than Winterhold does. That's how pathetic Winterhold is. And then there's Morefall, sorry, which is just awful. Hell, it even Morefall rhymes with awful. It's just terrible. Again, it's a nothing town. I think it's slightly larger than an Oblivion village, but not by much, and has about as much unique character. Actually, no, I lie. Not all the Oblivion villages use the same 3 houses. Oh, sorry, 6 houses. You know, with all the same generic style. You know, because some of them, what's that waterfront one? The one you have to go to a couple of times for the Fighters Guild, because you end up murdering it off as Blackwood Company. That one, for example, has the Leowin. Has little Leowin buildings. You know, it looks, you know, it's got regional colour. Skyrim's, they all look exactly the same. Oh, Calf Waste, and that's a waste, that is. Let's go have a marvel at Calf Wasten's awfulness. Yeah, we're here, we might as well. Oh, Bacon Kid's going. It's a nickname for my granddad. He likes his bacon a lot, and I can smell it. It's quite strong. And I have got quite a sensitive schnoz, so it's not a bad smell. It's just I can smell it. It's quite a strong, distracting smell. Then again, it's better when bonfire bastards decides to, or bonfire bitch, could be either. You know, decide to have a bonfire in the middle of summer when it's really hot and everyone has the windows open. The selfish gits, and everyone is stunk out their house. But carrying on, ignoring the smell. You know, oh yeah, patheticness of cities, and especially I missed it, haven't I? Oh no! Calf Wasting's dead ahead. Most pathetic. When you think even Winterhold beats you, there's Calf Wasting. And then there's Kynesgrove, which is so bad that it doesn't even count. Even though it was supposed to be a town, but it was, and there was supposed to be a mill, and there's even dialogue referencing the mill, but like no one actually bothered to put the mill in. The cell name's there. It's just, oh wait, no. Calf Wasting's actually as pathetic as Winterhold. It's got as much going on, but like even the generic towns in Oblivion were a lot better than this. Most of them even had an inn. And like the inns, they weren't all exactly the same. Oh no, Skyrim's not very great combat music. Is this another fucking goblin war? Yep. No, I'm going into the MCM and I'm turning that off. What's it called? Immersive Creatures. And the event spawns, I think it will be. I wish I could just turn the fucking Goblin War off. I don't want to turn goblins off in general, I just want to turn the bloody Goblin Wars off. Let's see. So I think I can't even turn the fucking goblins off, can I? think I can turn the fucking goblins off. Okay, let's see, we've got horrible spiders, reeklings, minotaurs, giant brutes, giants, frost giants, sprayed Dwemer shit, it's... Yeah, there's no... So I can't even turn the fucking goblin wars off. Fuck. I want the random event spawns. I want the random events. I like the random events. I don't want a fucking goblin war every 5 seconds. That's my main gripe with immersive creatures, is just how frequent the fucking goblin wars are. Like it just feels like there's more goblins than anything else. And like wolves are way too common, but that's a Skyrim problem. And that's another thing, like Skyrim has way too many of certain enemies. Like
Wonder what it's like for those
the frequency of bandits. Like the bandits just completely outnumber everyone else in the entire province. Do I still smell Thalmor Patrol? I do. Next to the random Imperial.
Stay sharp.
Let's see if the Imperials actually help me.
You're interfering. I am a Thormor Justice. We're making. Now go away.
No. What's wrong?
Moral to work. Perhaps there's something you wish to confess.
You can worship anyone I want, bitch.
I'm sick. You're dead.
Yep, they are coming to help me. Because, fuck, at least the Imperial Legion, they may not be as aggressive as they were, but at least they actually come and help you. Unlike the guards, I guarantee they wouldn't bother. Oh, Thalmor. I didn't mean to do that, I meant to find a weapon away. Run, little one.
Keep your eyes open.
He's running towards Marker? Oh no, he's probably looting a body, isn't he? Oh no, he's just gonna run. Oh well. At least the Imperials helped. They weren't much use, because they're piss weak, but... At least they helped. It's more than a Skyrim god normally would. You know, the useless whole Guardians, they are so fucking useless. So back to Oblivion and its cities. Like, all the cities felt big and unique and had loads of people in them. And I think everyone even had a home. Which is not the case in Skyrim. Like, they've only got 5 buildings in town, so of course there's not even enough houses for everyone. Oh, Bretons. Oh right, venison is not an alchemy ingredient in this game. Got it. Moving on. Like, you kind of forget that like everything was an alchemy ingredient of Oblivion. Like all food, alchemy. It's kind of brilliant in a way, but kind of ridiculous in another. And while it wasn't as retardedly profitable as Skyrim, it was still ridiculously profitable. I mean, potion costs never really went above 100, and that's if you were lucky. And that was the base value, and you would never get more than 50 for them because vendors were cheap shits. But what's that? Oh, that's Froki. I'm so many billion miles away from Froki, I might as well go to Solitudoodles. But every city was bigger and better and unique. Like, every city was unique. And the Imperial City was fucking huge. I don't expect any of Skyrim cities to be on the scale of the Imperial City. That would just be unreasonable. I don't expect any city to be on that scale on an Elder Scrolls game, because that's kind of like the capital. But, which is also the Grey Fox's favourite word. But, Like, he just says capital so often. Yes, let's... But... the Imperial City was enormous. Each one of its districts, except the Arena and Arboretum... Hell, I think even the Arboretum... was typically bigger than a Skyrim city. I said nom nom. You pathetic creature. But like every city was just so much better in Oblivion. They were bigger and they were better. Skyrim was just kind of small and pathetic. You know, like, I'd expect, like, you know, I'd at least expect the capitals, like Solitude and Winterhold, to be better, and Whiterun as well, because Whiterun's kind of like the central trade hub, and yet Whiterun's ability as a central trade hub is just pathetic. How dare you? Get... Where's that delicious bandit? Oh no. It's a Nord. One bandit camp successfully eaten. And then we can move on to Solitude, which I think was that way because you don't get a map as Beast. And you can't eat your flowers. I mean, that would be funny if, like, as a werebeast, you were just going on picking flowers. I mean, it's funny enough that, like, big tough hero goes around picking flowers. Ah, don't want to go first person in werebeast. That's kind of horrible. My liar. Oh! It's because he's moved out of the way. Speak to me. Speak to me. Oh. Oh. I do like a random encounter Maik more. Rather than the rocket speed Maik from Oblivion that just went between Anvil and I think Skingrad. I think he just went like back and forth. And you pretty much never catch him unless you happen to be going along at the time. Yeah, let's... A former arrow. It's a former bloody ear. So the former attacked this. See, the environmental storytelling is good. It's just a shame the regular storytelling isn't. That's the sad part of Skyrim, is like the environmental storytelling is brilliant, but the actual storytelling is terrible. Oh, right, that's Dragon Bridge. I can't exactly go across the Dragon Bridge because people might attack me in this form. I mean, Maik Delia does not, but I think Maik's special. I don't think he's ever hostile to you. You know, I don't know why people are like, it's a werebeast, kill it, kill it, kill it. It's like, it's not even hostile to you. It's clearly just walking through town casually. You know, this isn't like a cursed transformation. You have control. You could just go... Like, if a werebeast came into town, doesn't matter what it is, be where bear, where wolf, where shark, where dragon, whatever, just came into town and just waved at you. Like, would you attack it, or would you just be confused? The only time the guards are any use is when it's against you. Ugh, first person view hurts.
What was that? Time to end this little game.
Random orc. Yummy orc. Make sure to eat his shield as well. I'll only belch it out later. Probably not wise to go into... Oh, wait, there's a Stormcloak camp down there. Nords, my favourite. I'll go werewolf. No, I have not. Meet the horse. Hello, delicious Stormcloaks. Peace be with you in my gut. But no, like, the Civil War camps are very much a great... Like, the enemy Civil War camps are, like, the best way of, like, getting your werewolf perk, or vampire lord perks, or... You know, because there are a large number of humans. And vanilla, they are exclusively humans, so I'm not even wrong in saying that. Is his hair sticking through his helmet? How dare you? You dare attack me? No, oh, I must have already eaten Commander. Aww. I don't have anything useful. Just oh, right, horse. Might as well leave no evidence of that camp. Except a few blood stains. Because honestly, why are they respawning? Like, once the Civil War is over, the Civil War camp should stay dead. And honestly, I think there should have been an option to burn them, so they can't come. You know, like, just get rid of them, just burn them down, so they can't possibly come back. Yeah, I should probably wait before... Ugh. Keep zooming in by habit. It's before I get anywhere too close to town. Because I don't want useless Hold Guardians killing me for no reason. Really? There we go. Oh! Oof. I need to bath something out. Probably sell it in Solitude if I could get there. How much overweight am I? A lot. Go, alright, eat. Like, why? And this isn't Oblivion, I can't just cast a feather spell either. Because guess what? Carry weight spells don't exist in Skyrim. Because Skyrim's magic is really boring. Khajiit! Buy my crap, please! Although I think I'm even slower than they are. Come here, Khajiit. I need to see your beautiful faces. I mean, after Oblivion Khajiit, any Khajiit is better looking, because, oh god, Oblivion Khajiit are hideous. But they are painfully hideous.
I welcome you.
Yes, you. Buy my crap, please. You know, it weighs 18. I mean, weapons weigh a lot less in Skyrim, which is good, but... And if in Oblivion, like a top grade Daedric weapon, we were like weighing 50 something. It's ridiculous. I don't even get half of these arrows from. Take my shitty iron arrows. I don't even want them. I can move again!
You see those warriors from Hammerfell? They've got curved swords.
I'm just marveling at the clipping going on with those boots. Like, that's a lot of clipping going on. It's really because I think that's the only armor that does, because most of the armors don't clip like that on the legs. Then again, I guess the hold guard armors were made pretty much solely for the fur boots. Which I think this bitch is the vendor.
Clothes and raiment for the discerning customer.
Yes, yes, we all know you're a bitch. Probably best to start with weapons and go from there. Take these slightly damaged goods I ate. Fuck it, I'll use a cell chest in the museum. I'm gonna have to go there anyway. I've got crap to display. Just use the cell chest. I mean, it's not quite as efficient as Oblivion, where you could just go to a shop and load everything. Which, oh, I prefer the way merchants had money in Oblivion. And it also stopped, like, the retarded value issues that Skyrim has. Like, if you can sell some of the shit in Skyrim, you just make way too much money. So what are my goals in Soul Tools? Bloodbane, steal that bloody necklace. Before we go in the museum, music has to go off because copyright Nazi YouTube. Even though I'm pretty sure it's like royalty-free music. You can't make any assumptions with YouTube because they'll find a way. Stretchy. Where is he? What the f- How does he teleport? He teleported.
Ah, splendid. Nice find, my friend. Here's a little something for your efforts. I'll go ahead and display it.
Now, just as a... That is so much less ridiculous than it was in Oblivion. Because in Oblivion it was enormous. And had like a full jaw. And the Bloodworm helm, I think, was exactly the same. It just looked ridiculous. But, you know, but it's actually one of the better quality items in this museum as well. Because some of these mod-added items, like, they're really obviously mod-added because they're really quite low quality. It's one of those weird ones. You know, like, these books are good quality, but you come across a lot of the weapons. Some of them are really bad, some of them are really good. Some of them even look like they could be vanilla, and then some of them really don't. Really? A couple of necklaces. I was expecting less than that. Look at all this crap. Like, the necklaces work because they're all like good, but like some of the weapons are like really obviously not. Like the quality of the textures just don't work. They don't look they're not bad quality textures even sometimes. They just do not belong with the rest of the game. And that's something I think like this wood. You can tell that's mod added because it just doesn't really belong with anything else. Like most of this room, apart from this display case and this table, most of it is vanilla textures and looks right. But there's a few objects that aren't like this bookcase, this table, this workbench, this display case. Just don't look right. These actually do. You know, like it's some things just don't work in the world. And then some of them are like dodgy retextures of vanilla items and they never look good. Because vanilla items were made to have a very specific texture and they don't look... A lot of vanilla items look very poor with like different textures. I don't remember that being there. Still waiting for display. Got to go up to the... Might as well go up to the library and bookshelf and wait by that. 27? Whew, I didn't expect that many. I might as well stick all my books in the book return. Oh, I should probably put that on display as well. I'm not even sure what the card catalogue update list button even does. Should I go to the Daedric Gallery and get rid of that black book? I'm sick of lugging it around. I mean, it's actually a quest. I think it's a quest item, so it doesn't actually weigh anything, but... Daedric Gallery. Google navigation book's nice. It just helps navigate. Let's see what I've got. The best weapon in Oblivion. It's actually a very, very good weapon in Oblivion. And Elton Brand is a I don't know how you get it in Legacy of Dragon Ball, but I know in Morrowind, Elton Brand was this weird gag that some developer put in. Like, you had to do something with a very specific amount of money. It was a ridiculous process. Really? No? Oh, Ring of Nomira. I probably have killed her. Because I end up having to massacre half of the town of Markov. Did I? No, I didn't, because that's too thin. Where's the black book display though? Is that all of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, yep. And then the Ograt Infinium. Sigil Stone you get from one of the top magic quests. So I've actually got all but the Ring and Mirror. So I've actually got a full collection of Daedric artifacts, or in some cases in Oblivion, Daedric. Oh, and the Skeleton Key, because of course Skyrim makes you give that one up. The Bow of Shadows. I'm pretty sure you get that on one of the legacy quests. Pretty sure you do. No, do something that you get at the very end of the legacy quest line. Don't even know what goes in that hole. Keg Breaker's just the gag. The Daedric Crescent, I have no fucking idea where that is. I've never actually found that not once. Yeah, like every Daedra I think I've done except for Namira, and obviously Nocturnal, because Nocturnal you have to do the Fugs Guild. And be honest, it is the Fugs Guild. It's not the Thieves Guild, it's the Fugs Guild. It's very much the Fugs Guild. I've got most of these as well. Actually bothered to get it this time. But you can see, like, that stands out. It doesn't look right. Like, a lot of these don't look right. Like, they just don't fit with the world. Like, Zephyr works because it's using vanilla textures, but a lot of these don't work. It's a blinding speed. I don't have them yet. Tumbleweed Glove. Like, a lot of these just don't look right. That looks right because it's just a vanilla mashup. But, like, that doesn't look right. That sort of works, sort of doesn't. I don't quite know why Meow would have something so, like, evil, but that doesn't work, that doesn't work, that doesn't work, that doesn't work. That really doesn't work. Like, I think that, I'm not even 100% sure if that's a direct rip from Oblivion with a new texture, because it's such a dodgy looking weapon at the best of times, because it's just so ridiculously wide. Like, a lot of this stuff just doesn't look right. I mean, like, this stuff, Insanity stuff, that's all very high quality, but it doesn't work. It doesn't quite look right. It doesn't have the right look for Skyrim. Yeah, you can tell the vanilla ones apart. Which isn't a good thing, really. Ooh, what's that claw? Sapphire. Funny, I'm sure I've done that quest. Clearly I haven't. I don't know. You know, the Insanity stuff, these are all Insanities, I believe, and they're all good quality. You just don't quite match vanilla. And that is a problem. It's like, there is a case that I don't want to feel an item is modded, and I get that a lot. You know, with mods, you can usually tell when something doesn't belong in the world, because it's not consistent. You know, the kit bashes tend to at least fit. They don't, like, for armor, I just don't want to try, you know, when I'm not trying to be a kit bash, when I'm trying to be something completely new, it doesn't really work, because you can kind of tell. But really? They're the two things that haven't sold. So let's... I've got to stick that manually on, haven't I? I didn't mean to equip it. Why aren't I using them? Keep the only arrows just in case I need arrows. Sell all the crap. Sell all the crap. Because I've got so much crap. Sell all the crap. Oh, Staves, how fucking useless you are in Skyrim. And that's another thing, is Staves in Oblivion were actually useful. Because they were generally... Not only they allowed you to cast higher level spells than you were allowed... Because the skill restrictions were quite oppressive. But the magic costs in Oblivion were a lot higher, and you couldn't, like, bypass them half as easily like you can in Skyrim. Like, Skyrim, you can bypass them really, really easily. Really? Like, ridiculously easily you can bypass them in Skyrim. You just enchant. Why haven't I got... Take all these amulets, because I picked up a amount of crap. Keep the ring of disrobing. See, it's lazy! It is a retexture, but they actually bothered to make a gold retexture for it, which actually looks nice in the vanilla Skyrim gold. Which looks kind of disgusting and doesn't really look much like gold, looks more like brass. It's not very nice. But carrying on that way. Oh wow, how many bandits line loot for this? Did I actually ever make an amulet? Clearly not. Yeah, it looks less tacky. What's the ring? Is a gold. I'll keep one of those necklaces. No, I'll keep the sapphire necklace, that's nicer. So much crap! I'm glad the silk cart exists. Because there's a lot of... I can't believe how much crap I've gone through. Yeah, that's got like a Morrowind value. I never got why the enchanted items in Oblivion and Morrowind were so ridiculously priced, because there was no way in fucking hell you were ever going to get anywhere near that price. Order. I mean, in Morrowind, the most you'll ever get for an item, unless you gimp his inventory up, is 5,000 from Creeper. The Scamp Merchant, if you don't know the name. Well, in Oblivion, like, the max you'd ever get was, like, I think it was, like, 1,500 from, like, one... There was, like, one merchant who would do that. Armory main. I'm sure I've got the Shield of Solitude. I'm sure. Stretchy, stretchy. Yeah, Sword of Solitude. Shield of Solitude, take it. Yes, you're empty. You take the Ring of Disrobing. Not that I'll ever see it, but that's beside the point. You take Victoria's wedding, all the wedding crap. You can take Talendref's crap. I didn't mean to put that on there. Fuck. I've got to reapply that. Fuck. What I wanted to put on was like... I'm pretty sure... Do I have to deliver Ember Suns to anyone? Turn Froki. Yeah. No, I think I get to keep that, so... Ah, there's an empty rack. So, take Ember Sunder. Where's a paralysis rod? The funny thing is, like, if I remember correctly, like, Starter does not actually have a helmet. That's the Ring of Disrobing, I can't stick them there. Like, in Oblivion, Starter does not actually have a helmet. Which is a bit weird, but it's an old one. But who knows with like Oblivion and Skyrim. And all of Lost Empires. God deliver all the ethereal crap and potentially Wraithguard. That was it. Yes, because for some reason the replicas aren't taken by default. Which is weird. It's the real one it is, but the replicas aren't. It's the Snow Elf stuff. Does that actually take Wraithguard at the time? Yeah, now I've got the worthless replica. I mean, that is a horrible texture. It just does not work with any Dwarven. It's too yellow. Like, that's, I think, is almost... I think that's the more Oblivion one. That's the vanilla one. And looks almost exactly like it did in Morrowind. And then there's, like... These don't even look like they go together. Anyway, I think that's everything. I bet my weight capacity is still ridiculously oppressive because of all the crap. But it can't be worse than it was. It can't be. Can it? Taking all bets. I'm predicting about 10,000. Oh no, that's my total capacity. 8,000, so all that. So where the fuck is this 8 tons of shit come from? It's like these cars don't even weigh anything. Like, always missing one of the blue deck as well. Where the fuck is this coming from? It's so bad. Like, how much? I mean, like, nails don't weigh that much. I don't have that much in oh, right. Need to go to the Hall of Natural Science, don't I? Build some shit. Culture and Art. Gallery of Natural Science. Because that'll make a difference, I'm sure. Because I haven't built any of the displays, apparently. I don't remember having a twig of a Gildergreen in here. Gildergreen, sorry, I thought it was Gildergreen. Another one. That's just a generic floor. Oh, you can plant whatever you want. No, that's... Yeah. Build wolves. Build elk. Build sabercat. Build bear. Build hawker and the mighty mug. Oh, I don't have enough mug crab kite to build the mighty mug crabs. Horse. I build a goat. I don't have Yekram's scale, that's why. Yeah, no, the being's already there. so we built most of the fish tank is just a fish tank. That's most of it. Boink. Now let's get rid of some blue. I'm sure I've got rid of some like dragon scales way retarded amount. Yep. Like how the dragons even move with a weight like that, and why they're so piss weak when they weigh that much. I mean, think about it. If a dragon if like a bit of scales weighs that much, and the dragon basically flies with magic, why does it do so little damage when it hits you? It's like vanilla Skyrim dragons are so weak, they're painful.
You like me, eh? Don't fancy those clunky two-handed weapons.
Now, is he gonna say that stupid comment again?
You're that mage from the college, right? Your things are finally...
Cause I think I fixed that. Because I've changed the skill comments to 70 and sort of fixed some of the more, or learn that there's some lines that like, especially archery related lines that they only say when you're equipped with, instead of being equipped with a bow, like you would expect, it's when you're equipped with a very specific subset of bows.
The woman had a bodyguard. I know it's terrible she got murdered at her own wedding, but the city guard is hardly to blame.
What, you useless fucks? Like, seriously? Look, she got murdered at her own wedding, but we're not to blame. You're the fucking city guard. You're supposed to be responsible for security in the city. You useless twonks. Because Froakie Shack is the other side of the map, and I'm not going there from Solitude again. I know he's down in Riften somewhere there. It's like, those guards, it's like, don't blame us, we're useless. It's like, there's a reason no one likes the Skyrim guards are considered useless, and that's like they don't even take responsibility. And then they mock the Panissus Oculatus for letting the Emperor die. But they couldn't even keep someone safe at their own wedding.
Then you finally know what it means to be a true hunter.
What? Going excessive distances for no prey? Is that the Nord way, being useless?
Count me as a friend.
Wow. You do feel like, wow, just what a waste of... Let's go to all four corners of Skyrim. That's what it means to be a Nord hunter. You gotta fuck around. Do a lot of fucking around. Hunting things that don't even give you anything. Because hunters kill to, I don't know, eat, live. They don't just hunt. They don't just kill ghosts. Ghosts don't have anything unless you eat ectoplasm. And if you're eating ectoplasm, I think there's something seriously wrong with you. Will it even notice me? That's the question. Like, Froakie Shack is in a ridiculously bad spot. It's right next to a dragon root, and why would you ever build your house next to such an ominous ruin? I think it's crippled now. It's come closer to me. No one ever said archery in Skyrim wasn't broken. Oh yeah, right, I didn't turn the music back on, right. That's why everything's silent. Derp. Oh, right. It was. Oops. Oops. Oopsie. Oops. Who cares? I'm probably not going back to Wormstooth forever anyway. Where even is this? Wait. Where is this even trying to send me? Stone Hollow. What the bloody hell is Stone Hollow? I don't even know where Stone Hollow is. I have to look that up. I actually have no idea where it is. Actually, oh, it's Wormstooth. Well, it looks like I am going to Wormstooth. But I wasn't going to go to Wormstooth until I got that stupid bloody necklace, and I can't pickpocket yet, so... let's do Forsworn Conspiracy then. By next stream, I will completely have forgotten, but... it won't be one of my streams if I don't completely forget what I'm doing, would it? I mean, be honest. It's not one of my streams unless I'm forgetful. Because I am a dope. Oh no.
Fine.
Whee! Splat. I mean, Become Ethereal isn't really useful for much except jumping off cliffs. Oh no! 2 wolves! They're so weak I can just punch them to death with a crossbow. That's how weak they are. That's how useless 2 wolves are. Well, it's not going to start snowing in here. Hand over your valuables or I'll gut you like a fish.
Hail, Nightingale.
Oh, right.
Luck has
Wait,
shined
what?
and made you a rich man. Here is your cut, as promised.
But,
Good luck out there.
wait. What? Just... I'm almost like 100% sure I am not a Nightingale. I mean, I'm pretty sure that I've never even done any of the Thieves Guild. I'm not even, according to Steins Baron's Eye Quest, I haven't even joined the Thieves Guild yet. How the fuck am I the Nightingale?
Need something? Yes.
And I prefer to ban the random mugger when he went, your money or your life. You gave him 100 gold, all reluctantly, because it wasn't much. And then pickpocketed him back and he said, oh, just take it anyway, I didn't want it. It's like, really? I'm sure this guy's not just a secret Imperial courier. Want to give me a paycheck? Because it does seem a bit odd. I haven't done the Thieves Guild questline and suddenly I am Nightingale. Yep, there's that random hunter again, same one. Blonde little ponytail, big butt, yeah, that's the one. That thief! What the fuck just happened?
Wold, Nakest!
Like, seriously, what just happened? Ooh, flowers. Ooh, flowers reflex will always be there. Yeah, I'm 100% sure I have not done the Thieves Guild. But hearing that Hail Nightingale has made me question if I really have.
Wold, Nakest!
No, I'm sure I haven't. It's so fucking boring. I've saved it for the end. Or at least later, because I can't be bothered to do it at the moment. I'm sure I haven't even started it yet, because it's kind of repugnant and horrible. It's like the Thugs Guild. It's awful. You start off as Maven's personal thugs, and then you turn into Nocturnal's personal thugs. Oh, and sell your soul to Nocturnal too. And they won't let you progress the questline if you say no. Oh, there was nothing like that in Oblivion either. I don't recall any questline requiring you to do anything out of the ordinary for that faction. You didn't have to do something absolutely horrible like sell your soul to a Daedra. Oh, look at the little Bosmo. Look at him, he's so small and dinky. And now he's dead. Look at little Bosmo, she's small and dinky. And Bosmo should be tiny. That's what they are. And you should also have a really annoying voice like Fargoth. Oh no. Is that a Vigilant? Shall I save them from the bears? Yes, let's go on. From the rogue cave bear. Bloody hell, what is this? This is one hell of a brood. That's one hell of a brood. Yes, the God of Mercy brutally kills everything in their way. Yes, mercy. How does the God of Mercy want to kill everything in their way? Well, like, they don't even give you a chance. No, it's like, you could vote with Daedra, you must die. Except they sort of reduced that reaction for player because it's kind of like every time you see a Vigilance Extender, they were supposed to accost you for like having a Daedric artifact and demand you turn it over to them or die. But they got rid of that behaviour because that would have been interesting. Because Skyrim did seem to kill off anything that made it like wasn't piss easy. Like, Skyrim is too easy. And the only difficulty changes the difficulty slider does is make enemies take more hits and you take less hits. It basically just makes you weaker. It doesn't actually make enemies stronger, it just makes you weaker. And it just makes and because you're weaker in both health and you take more damage, deal less damage, you're just so weak that you can't do anything. It just takes forever. And that was a problem with Oblivion's combat, was like, you came up to an enemy and it took like 20 hits to kill. Because the damage values were so low. Like in Skyrim, let's just look at this bolt, this ebony arrow, does 20 damage. Now, maxed out, no sword in Oblivion was doing more than 30, unless it was enchanted. Like I think like Umbra was like one of the highest, and yeah, I think like the highest weapon, not counting enchantments, was the weird Amber and Madness Warhammer. I can't remember, Nerve Shatter, which was I believe 29, and that was with maxed out skills. So it was a case of, and yet one arrow is doing 2/3 of that in Skyrim. I mean, let's just look at the weapons. Like the most basic ass weapon I have, like that shouldn't be doing damage, but it's I don't know how that applies the damage, but I know where it comes from. It's got nothing to. It will never affect you unless you use the mod that I co-opted into the werewolf system, so I could actually loot shit. But like even the most basic thing I have, a woodcutter's axe, is doing like almost 4 times the damage an Oblivion weapon would do. It's with max skills. The damage values are much higher in Skyrim. To the point that they're even a bit kind of excessively high. I mean, it does actually make sneak attacks possible, which was not the case in Oblivion. Unless like an NPC was super weak, a sneak attack was not going to kill him. Especially an archery sneak attack, because fucking hell, archery was useless in Oblivion. I mean, Skyrim, it's too. I can kind of see why now, because in Skyrim it's too powerful. Why sneak up on someone when you can just shoot them with an arrow and insta kill them? Like, it just doesn't make any sense why archery is too powerful in Skyrim, especially since most enemies can't fight back against it. You can just plonk yourself somewhere out of reach. Only in Oblivion, you paid for that gimping the game by it taking an eternity to kill anything. Arrows weighed 0.1, or the better ones weighed even 0.2, which made arrows. Carrying the 100 arrows you need to kill something by GIMP very difficult. And oh god, if you think set Skyrim to the hardest difficulty and try and level destruction, it takes forever because it's based on damage dealt. Now, for Oblivion, that is quick compared to Marksman, which would take, at higher levels, well over 1,000 arrows fired. I think they had to hit something as well. I don't think you could just spam him into the void. But that's what Shadowmere was for. But it would take over 1,000 arrows fired to gain 1 level. It was ridiculous how much ammo it took. Just the revelers. I let them revel. And destruction and restoration took forever in Oblivion as well. I mean, you just had to keep casting. So like every spare moment you just had to cast. As long as it hit target, so if you made a non-self spell it would always count. Even if it wasn't doing anything, like apparently a basic heal will level you up even if you got full health. It was kinda silly. I mean, how skills go up in Skyrim is a lot better than Oblivion. In Oblivion, it was really illogical. All magic was based on amount of spells cast, and the only reason Conjuration went up quick is because it had like a 6 times modifier on it. So, to make up for the fact that you were notionally not supposed to be casting it very often, while Restoration and Destruction, they clearly expect you to cast like every second of the day.
Well met.
No, you don't take selling shit. Now, just regarding skills again, I know one of the complaints about Skyrim is, it doesn't have a class system. But The funny thing is, okay, it actually kind of does. You just don't arbitrarily pick it at the beginning of the game. You have to actually play it. Because in Skyrim, if you played a jack of all trades, aka using every skill, you will never be the best in those skills unless you do some truly epic grinding. Or have mods that allow you to get perk points other ways. You'll have some truly epic grinds ahead of you. Because you'd have to be like, I think this is like 200 perks, so you'd have to be like level 200. And getting to level 81, I believe, was the vanilla max. Before they made legendary skills. But in Oblivion, you could legitimately become master of everything. You could have 100 in all attributes, 100 in all skills. And because there was no perks, you were basically, no matter what happened, you were pretty much guaranteed that you could max out everything. Regardless of whether it was a master or a major or a minor skill. The only difference was minor skills leveled up much slower. That's the only difference. It's like, so Skyrim actually rewarded you for playing a build. Oblivion did not. In fact, if you made your build poorly and went for non-combat skills, you could royally fuck yourself. Like if you didn't have your primary weapon, like if you say, for example, you were a mostly a thief, for example. Where you had like pickpocket, mercantile, speechcraft. If you had like a certain selection of skills, you could be royally fucked. Because if you leveled up, but you didn't have the weapon skills, your weapons were so weak they were never going to do anything. Granted, they would actually level up faster that way, because in Skyrim it's mostly down to like effect, damage dealt for weapons, and defensive spells, healing dealt for healing spells, etc, etc. But in Oblivion it was down to how many times you hit with that particular weapon. So for example, you would level up your skill much faster using a dagger and doing effectively no damage than a massive greatsword and doing massive damage. It's just one of the quirks of it. How Skyrim does leveling up is actually a lot better. And, well, I think I do miss sleep to level up, though. I do miss that, because it gave sleeping a purpose. And it created a rhythm, rather than Skyrim, where you can just... leveled up. Even mid-combat you can do that. It's kind of silly, and you can use it for a mid-combat heal. And as weird as it is, and I used to hate this, and I used to think the other way, I actually prefer the way Oblivion doles out health, stamina, and magic. The attribute system is arcane, it doesn't make much sense. But they determined how much you got every time you leveled up. So if you had like high strength high endurance early on, for example, you would get more. You'd have more health. If you started off with like high intelligence, you'd get more magicka. It was actually a beneficial system. Oh my god! This guy's
pilgrimage to the shrine of Azura, the goddess of twilight. If you'll excuse me.
Yeah, I would gladly take you there if you let me. But he's just going to walk around in circles, because he has no fucking clue where he's going. But, no, I do actually kind of prefer the attribute system now. Yes, you had to think about it, you really had to think, and let's face it, you were pretty much all... Unless you, like, never intended to use magic, you needed to dump a lot of points into intelligence, like, early on, and willpower, strength and endurance, and, like, luck was also strangely unique, was a strangely good one. But personality is, like, that was a dump stat. It's like when everything else, even agility and speed were better than that, and agility did nothing. But personality did less than nothing, because the skills it governed did fuck all. You know, agility was not good, but at least it governed some useful skills, while personality governed, I think, illusion, where the only real purpose of that was invisibility, and which was broken as fuck. I mean, like, seriously, invisibility in Oblivion was hilariously broken. I don't think it's as bad in Skyrim, because I think Skyrim's works more like a heavy chameleon, rather than full... But rather than the full invisibility. I mean, I could walk in Oblivion with full invisibility. I could walk right into this guard, running like this, and he would not see me. That's how bad it was. But, you know, I do actually kind of prefer the attributes now. Yes, the way they're doled out, but I prefer I don't like them per se. But I think they're a better system than Skyrim pick health, stamina, or magicka. I think the way it doled out, the way they determined... Like, if Skyrim, like, you got, like, 5 of each, but you could choose one to double up to 10. Like, for example, when you leveled up. Because, notionally in Skyrim, if you dump it all into one stat... Like, for example, if you dump into stamina... thinking it's useful, you're completely fucked because you'll be fragile as fuck and you can't cast a single spell to save your life. But it's just one of those things, as I think Skyrim just does not handle this magic health stamina very well. Oblivion, you felt like every time you leveled up, all you got better in every way. Granted, the enemy leveling aside, but you yourself actually got better. While in Skyrim, it's like, oh, one stat gets better and everything else is completely neglected. Which, again, leads me into the fact that, well, it leads back to Skyrim, you can be the jack of all trades, and I'm going to finish off soon, this line not moving, but you can be the jack of all trades in Oblivion. That's kind of the most effective build, while in Skyrim you do have to specialise. And I think that's something a lot of people miss. You know, people say, "Oh, you can jack of all Skyrim's jack of all trades." Just because you don't choose at the beginning doesn't mean you don't have to play a build. You kind of have to if you want to be good at it. You know, if you want to be like the best at something, you have to give up being the best at everything something else. It's like, if you want to cast spells without, like, gimping enchanting, you kind of have to give up the ability to take hits or run. Because stamina is handled pretty badly in both games. I mean, let's face it, in Oblivion, things that should take stamina, such as blocking, didn't. And swinging a weapon took stamina, which killed your ability to hit and just made the combat even more lengthy. Still better than Morrowind's, but Morrowind's is a different story. But I'm going to have to give up now, so... My voice is getting tired, and the annoyance has returned. Anyway, that's the end of the stream. If it ever saves. End of the stream. Thank you for watching. And sorry for missing last week's, but I was so piss-ass tired I couldn't wake up. But subscribe or donate if you want. Donation links in the description as per usual. As is the list of all past streams. It will be updated with this one. I will update the thumbnail on the last one because apparently I put the 58 number on it when it was supposed to be 59. But ignoring that. Goodbye! 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.